Okay, so good day. So now we will discuss about the parameter and statistics. So what is the difference between the two? So when we say parameter, paano ba pag sinabi nating parameter? Pag sinabi nating parameter, this is a measure that describes a population, okay? And it is usually denoted by a Greek letters. So what are those Greek letters? Yung mu or yung population mean natin, yung sigma or yung variance and standard deviation natin, okay? So again, parameter, this is a measure that describes a population. Population po ang tinutukoy natin dito. So for example, the Philippine Senate is composed of 24 senators. This is an example of a population. Another, Jupiter has 67 confirmed moons. This is also an example of a population. This is also an example of a parameter. How about the statistic? So pag sinabi naman nating statistic, so kung ang parameter is for the population, our statistic is for the sample, okay? Statistic, it is a measure that describes a sample, and it is usually denoted by Roman letters. So ano yung Roman letters na yun? Yung X bar, that is for the sample mean, S squared, that is for the sample variance, S is for the sample standard deviation. So those are the Roman letters. Okay, and for example, the manager randomly selected 35 employees to participate in the sports fest. That is an example of a statistic. That is an example of a sample. So, bakit po? Kumuha ka lang ng 35 employees. Okay? And yung 35 employees na yun yung magpa-participate dun sa sports fest. Another example, um, 15 randomly selected students will participate in a math contest. Okay? So that is also an example of a sample. Why? 15 randomly selected students. Ibig sabihin, kumuha ka lang ng 15. So now, paano naman natin kukunin yung mean, variance, and standard deviation of parameter and statistic? So sinabi natin kanina that a parameter, it is denoted by the Greek letter. Okay, so yung parameter natin, or the mean for the population, so that is mu or population mean. Yung variance natin, sigma squared, or yung sigma is a Greek letter, and the standard deviation is the sigma. Okay, so the formula to solve for the mean, we have mu is equal to the summation of x over n, where mu is the population mean, x is the given data, and capital letter N, that is for the population size. Okay, that is for the population size. And to solve for the variance, we have sigma squared is equal to the summation of quantity x minus mu squared over the capital letter N size. And for the standard deviation, just simply get the square root of our variance. Okay, so that is for the parameter or for the population. So how about the statistic? Statistic, it is denoted by the Roman letters. So yung statistic natin, to find the mean of a sample, we have x bar is equal to the summation of x over n, where x is the data, x bar is the sample mean, and n, or small letter n, is the sample size. And for the variance, the formula is s squared is equal to the summation of the quantity x minus x bar squared over n minus 1, okay? And to solve for the standard deviation, just simply get the square root of our sample variance. Okay, so for example, the following are the ages of 4 SPED teachers at Wings of Hope Behavioral Center. So these are 22, 21, 25, and 40. And what is the population mean, variance, and the standard deviation? So we assume that this 21, 22, 25, and 40 is the population, okay? So now, ang hinahanap natin is the population mean, population variance, and the population standard deviation, okay? So to solve for the mean, variance, and SD of a population, kailangan natin ulit ng table. Okay? So, ano-ano yung kailangan natin sa table? The value of our x. So, yung value ng x natin. And x minus mu. And the other is x minus mu squared. Okay? So, next. Ilan yung meron tayong data? Okay, so ilan yung meron tayong data? Or yung number, or yung teachers. Ilan yung meron tayong teachers? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So, these are the teachers. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And their ages are 22. Yung x natin is 22, 21, 25, and 40. Okay? So, next column natin, ang kailangan natin is x minus mu. And for the last column, we need x minus mu squared. Okay? So, next. Next is, okay, so next na gagawin natin is kunin natin yung summation ni x. Again, summation, ibig sabihin kunin lang yung sum. I-add lang po ang lahat. So, 22 plus 21 plus 25 plus 40. 22 plus 21 plus 25 plus 40 is equal to 108. Okay? So, the summation is 108. Okay, so next. Next is x minus mu, and the last column is x minus mu squared. Okay? Okay, para dito sa column na to, kailangan muna natin ng value ni mu or ni mean. Okay? So again, para kunin si mean, mu is equal to the summation of x over capital letter N. Okay, so para kunin si mu or si mean, population mean, summation of x over capital letter N. Nakuha na natin yung summation of x, which is 108. So, substitute lang natin 108 divided by the value of our N or the population size, meron tayong 4. So, divided by 4. So, 108 divided by 4 is equal to 27. So, ang value ng mean natin is 27. Okay? So, now, makakapag-proceed na tayo dito sa column nito. So, x minus mu. So, yung x natin is 22. X natin is 22 minus, yung mean natin is 27. So, 22 minus 27 is negative 5. Ayan, so negative 5. Then, diretso na tayo squared para sa next column. Squared. That is equal to 25. Okay, so next. Next, x natin is 21. Then, minus, mu natin is 27. That is equal to negative 6. Diretso squared tayo ulit. And that is equal to 36. 25 minus 27 is negative 2. Diretso squared. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Okay, and next, 40 minus 27 is equal to 13, positive 13, then squared, that is equal to 169. Okay, so next na po natin is, kunin ang summation ng last column. Kunin yung summation ni x minus mu squared. Okay, so i-add lang po natin lahat. 25 plus 36 plus 4 plus 169. And that is equal to 234. Okay, so that is equal to 234. Okay, so next. Next is, hanapin na natin ano yung value ni variance, ano yung value ni standard deviation. So, for the variance, sigma squared is equal to, the formula is the summation of x minus mu squared over n. Okay, so just substitute kung ano man yung nakuha nating summation. Summation of x minus mu squared is 234. then divided by, ang n natin or the population size is 4. So 234 divided by 4 and that is equal to 58.5. Okay, so our sigma squared is equal to 58.5. Okay. Okay, so guys, again, always round off your final answer ha, into 2 decimal places. Ano ba yung mga final answers natin? Mean, variance, and standard deviation. Okay? Pero again, kapag po nandito ka sa table, habang nasa process ka pa lang, hindi mo po pwedeng i-round off. Okay? So next, the standard deviation. So to find the standard deviation, to solve for the standard deviation, ayan. So to solve for the standard deviation, we have sigma is equal to the square root of the summation of x minus mu squared over n. O di kaya, just simply get the square root of your sigma squared. Okay, so nakuha na natin yung sigma squared natin, which is 58.5. Kunin mo lang yung square root. So, pindutin mo lang yung, since hindi ko pa naman na-delete, pindutin lang si square root, pindutin si answer, and that is equal to 7.6485297 or 7.65. Okay, so again, round off your final answer into 2 decimal places. Ayan. So this is for the population. So ito yung para sa population. So paano naman kapag sample na? Okay. So paano kapag sample yung kinukuha natin? Paano natin kunin si mean, variance, and standard deviation of a sample? Okay, so for example, ayan, assume that a researcher randomly selected 3 SPED teachers at Wings of Hope Behavioral Center, ages 22, 25, and 40. So what is the sample mean, variance, and standard deviation? Okay, so ngayon, galing dito, for example, galing dito yung data. Si researcher ay kumuha lang ng 3. Okay? Randomly. Okay, so kumuha lang ng 3 galing sa population. So yung 3 yun, that is already a sample. Okay? So ngayon, to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation, kailangan ulit natin ng table. So again, this is for the sample. So that is for the sample. So kailangan natin ulit ng table. So ilan ulit yung meron tayo ngayon pagdating sa sample? So meron tayong 3 data. So 1, 2, 3. So yung value ng x natin or yung age nila is 22, 25, and 40. Okay, 22, 25, and 40. So ngayon, katulad ng ginawa mo lang sa population, kukunin mo ang summation. So kunin ang summation ni x. So summation of x is equal to, so kunin yung summation ni x. I-add lang po natin lahat. So 22 plus 25 plus 40, 22 plus 25 plus 40, that is equal to 87. Okay, so that is equal to 87. Okay, so next. Next is, ang sunod na column natin is x minus mu or x minus x bar. Okay, so x minus x bar or x minus sample mean. Okay, so now, kailangan mo munang kunin si sample mean. Again, to solve for the sample mean, to get the sample mean, we have x bar is equal to the summation of x over the small letter n. Okay, summation of x over the small letter n. So just substitute. Summation of x natin is 87 over Ang n natin, ano na yung sample size natin, which is 3. So, 87 divided by 3, and that is equal to 29. Okay, so x bar is equal to 29. So, yung sample mean natin is equal to 29. Okay, so now, proceed na tayo sa next column. Meron tayong x minus x bar. Okay? So, proceed na tayo sa next column. We have x minus x bar. So, yung x ko ay 22. 22 minus, yung sample mean natin is 29. 22 minus 29, that is equal to negative 7. Diretso squared na tayo. So, squared is equal to 49. Okay, so next, x natin is 25. So, 25 minus x bar or sample mean natin is 29. So, that is equal to negative 4. Diretso squared, and that is 16. Okay, so next, 40 minus 29 is equal to 11. Then squared, and that is equal to 121. Then after that, get the summation of x minus x bar squared, and that is equal to, add lang po natin siya lahat, 49 plus 16 plus 121, and that is equal to 186. Okay? So, now, makukuha na natin si s squared and si s. Okay? Si s squared and si s, or si sample variance and si sample standard deviation. Again, to solve for the sample variance, our formula is summation of x minus x bar squared over n minus 1. Okay, so summation of x minus x bar squared over n minus 1. So, just substitute lang po. May nakuha na tayong summation ni x minus x bar squared, and that is 186. So, just substitute 186 divided by, ang n natin is 3. Sample size natin is 3, then minus 1. And that is equal to 186 divided by 3 minus 1 is 2. And 186 divided by 2 is equal to 93. So, our s squared, or our sample variance is 93. How about the sample standard deviation? To solve for the sample standard deviation, just simply get the square root of our variance, or square root of the summation of x minus x bar squared over n minus 1. S is equal to, okay, square root lang. Kunin nilang natin yung square root ni variance natin. So, pindutin si square root, pindutin si answer, and that is equal to 9.6436. Okay, so round off your answer into two decimal places, and that is 9.64. Okay? So, to check if your answers are correct, you can use your calculator para makita kung tama ba yung mean, variance, and SD nyo. Okay, so check muna natin yung nakuha nating sagot sa population. So, ang x natin ay 22, 21, 25, and 40. So, pindutin lang natin si stat, si mode. Okay, so mode, pindutin si stat, pindutin si SD, which is number 1. Ayan, may makikita na tayong table. So, ito na yung ilalagay natin. Ito na yung time para ilagay yung values ni x. 22 equals 21, okay, equals 25 equals 40 equals, okay? So, nailagay mo na, na-input mo na kung ano man yung given. So, next, CA, pindutin si apps, pindutin si SVAR, which is number 5. Okay, so check mo kung tama yung mean mo. To check if your mean is correct, pindutin mo si 2. Yung 2 po ay para sa mean. So, pindutin si 2. And that is equal to 27. At yung nakuha mong mean kanina ay 27. So, ibig sabihin, your answer is correct. How about the variance and standard deviation? Pindutin mo lang ulit si apps. Pindutin mo si SVAR, which is number 5. This is for the population. Okay, so dito sa apat na to, yung 2 ay sample mean and population mean. Yung 3 is the population standard deviation. Yung 4 is sample standard deviation. So since ang given natin is population, ang pipiliin natin is number 3. Again, so yung 3 po natin is population standard deviation. Population ang given, population ang pipiliin. So number 3 ang pindutin, and that is 7.6485. Round off your answer into 2 decimal places, and the answer is 7.65. 7.65. Okay? 7.65, which is ito yung nakuha natin kanina kay standard deviation, population standard deviation. And to check if your variance is correct, just simply squared ang ating SD. Squared mo lang yung SD natin. And that is 58.5. 58.5. Ibig sabihin po, tama yung nakuha nating mean, variance, and SD ng population. How about the sample? Check natin kung tama yung nakuha nating sample. Okay, so pindutin lang ulit si stat. SD, and input lang natin lahat. So sa sample, ang value lang ng x natin is 22 equals 25 equals 40. Okay, so equals. Na-input mo na yung tatlong given. And next, CA, pindutin si apps, piliin si SVAR, number 5. Check mo ulit yung mean mo kung tama. Ang mean natin is number 2. And that is equal to 29. That is equal to 29. Okay, so next. Next, check mo kung tama yung variance and SD mo. So, pindutin ulit si apps. Pindutin ulit si SVAR, which is number 5. Again, this is for the population mean and sample mean. This is for the population standard deviation. And yung number 4 is for the sample standard deviation. Since ang given natin dito ngayon is sample, ang pipiliin mo ay yung number 4 na pang sample standard deviation. So, pindutin si 4, and that is equal to 9.6436. Round off your answer into 2 decimal places, and that is 9.64. 9.64. Okay? So, ito yung sample standard deviation. And to check if your variance is correct, just simply squared. That is 93. At yung nakuha nating sagot kanina is 93. Okay? So, yun lamang po ang parameter and stat. Yun lamang po kung paano kuhanin yung mean, variance, and SD ng population and ng sample.